Good morning, everyone. We are live. Welcome to Leftover Cake Chat.
Good morning.
Brittany is joining us this morning. Kristen is on a flight. So, with her being in the air, she is not available. So, we are going to get started on our topic. Wait, no, we can't get started on our topic. We got to do champagne and cake first. Woohoo!
Yay!
Cheers to a Sunday morning.
Cheers.
All right. And let's see. Oh, that tastes really good.
What kind do you have today?
I don't know. It was champagne in a bottle and we got it. It's Sunday morning. We try all the different flavors out, but I'll have to get it later because it's across the room. So, and I have vanilla cake again. Vanilla cake.
We had donut station, so I have my iced donut sprinkles, my favorite.
Ooh, I love the donut station. Did they have the donuts hanging on?
Yeah. So we did the donut. It was actually custom made by a friend of hers. So they had their last name on top, and then they had all the little pegs and stuff, which was really cool.
Very,
I can post a picture of that later if anyone wants to see it.
Yay, we love donut stations. They are so much fun. People kind of really enjoy them. So, okay. I don't know what. I've had vanilla cake the last few weeks and it's been so good. I know I'm kind of cheating on my chocolate, but it's yummy. So, all right. So we are going to talk about flowers today. So Brittany is here because you have worked for a florist before.
I have. That actually is what started my love for weddings altogether. I actually started in a flower shop when I was 15, making bouquets and arrangements and all of that. And that's where, my love for weddings came. And that's where I decided that I wanted to be a wedding planner and get a taste of everything. But I did love working in the flower shop. And it's been great, too, because a couple weeks ago at a wedding, I actually had to make some boutonnieres because the florist had not brought them so we grabbed some flowers from outside, picked together some bushes, I had some tape in my emergency kit, and we made some boutonnieres.
So maybe everyone may not know, but typical wedding planners will carry an emergency kit. We have almost everything in there. So thank God Brittany was prepared. So wedding planners, guys, this is why you have them.
Yes.
We can do it all or know somebody that can do it all or call in for the help. Having the contacts is definitely helpful. So flowers. I personally love the big white hydrangeas with points of green in there. I think it's very elegant, very classic, and it looks absolutely beautiful. You do have to remember, though, your location and the weather. Hydrangeas do not hold up well in direct sunlight and very, very hot. So you do definitely have to consider that. There are ways around it if you're outside on a beach somewhere or in a backyard or a field without a tent. There are ways around it, but you definitely want to make sure that there is some shade for those flowers so that way they make it through your events.
Yeah, it's important to know too, your timeline. If you're dead set on those flowers, what time the arrangements can go out and making sure the florist is aware of the time constraint. So getting them on the tables and getting them watered and everything like that. You also have to take into consideration, even if you do have a clear top or a tent, if it's clear top, not putting those arrangements on the table until right before guest arrival because they really bake under those clear top tents.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I don't know if we've mentioned this before or not, but clear top tents, they are gorgeous with the lighting that you can put in there and then you can see the sky. They're absolutely gorgeous, but they do kind of funnel as like a greenhouse. Like the heat comes right in and it gets trapped under there. So fans during the day to help with, the setup crew is definitely important. But also, as Brittany said, we're talking about flowers today, keep that into consideration. With the flowers. So, all right, tall versus short arrangements on tables. Good morning, Laura. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Laura.
So, Brittany, tell us what you think, tall versus short.
So it can go either way. I like the tall. When I was working in the flower shop, the trends were having, the huge tall cylinders. But we always had them filled with water, and then you'd have a simple flower inside. That way you can see through. But they have to be, either tall enough on the table that you can see through the vase and then have, flowers draping down, or it needs to be low enough where you can see over. Either is okay, but you also have to take into consideration weather. If you're in an outdoor event, taller arrangements are not always a good idea, just because the winds pick up and you'd need a really heavy arrangement. So there's a lot to take into consideration when picking your flowers. But I personally like the lower arrangements on the tables, just because everyone can see around. You're not looking through a cylinder at the person across from you. So it really depends. But there's a lot of considerations that you need to take into account when picking high or low.
And I kind of like utilizing a combination. Obviously, if you're in a setting that is conducive for that, again, outside where it could be windy, on the water somewhere that is like a wind tunnel, you definitely don't want to go with something high unless it's really, really sturdy. But that's something that we talk specifically about with the florist about to make sure. But I kind of like the combination of the high and low, putting some high around, some short, and kind of mixing it up.
Right.
Traditionally, I'm very OCD on stuff, but for some reason, I really like the combination of that.
Yeah, it creates a lot of different levels, and I love that, especially if you're going to do different size tables too, bringing in different size arrangements that fit that table, just depending on your guest count and the space that you're working with.
So I know that kind of the most popular, sorry, I have an itch. I've been really trying not to get that, but gone. Thanks. So I know a lot of the most popular flowers are roses, hydrangeas, calla lilies, peonies. So what are your favorites?
So my absolute favorite are peonies, but any bride that is just a diehard peonies fan that wants those, it's really important that she get married in peony season. So just another thing to take into account, just because you can't get them all year round, and if you can, they're going to be smaller. Not as pretty as you may want them to be, and they're a lot more expensive. So taking into account your favorite flowers that you want for your wedding and their wedding season or the season that they grow is really important, especially for those peonies. Roses you can get year round, the garden roses and spray roses and stuff like that. So I love those just because some of the big garden roses almost look like peonies at certain times. You can manipulate them to look that way.
Perfect. I like the hydrangeas, but I'm not necessarily a flower person, allergic. So that's why we're so thankful Brittany's here today.
Erin loved when I used to bring in flowers to the office. I always had some on my desk. She loved it.
I'm like, take them away. You're going to kill me. Orchids. We have also seen different places rent or buy orchids from charity or non-for-profit organizations and utilize those. Also palm trees or big, larger potted plants to kind of fill the space in rooms or give you some privacy. You don't, again, necessarily have to purchase those. You can rent those from different places. And we have worked a lot with some charity organizations that way you're getting what you want for your wedding, but you're also giving back. So I feel like we kind of try to always give back as much as possible and have our clients do that as well. So I think, one of the trends that we kind of like are the living event walls, and that's what our post, I keep calling it our post, our blog is about this week. Kristen, sent over some information, and we have some great pictures from different living event walls. And if you're not sure what that is, definitely check out our blog. It's at swivelgroupevents.com/leftovercakechat. And basically what that is, Brittany, you're bouncing around. I'm getting seasick over here.
Sorry.
The living event walls, they're basically literally walls of flowers, and you can use them behind your ceremony. You can use them behind your sweetheart table, cake table. You can use that as an area for your photographers to take photos of your guests, anything like that. They're really beautiful. We've also had them behind like the welcome table as people are coming in to get their seat assignment and figure out where they are. It's just this beautiful backdrop of florals. Thoughts on that, Brittany?
So I love those. I've had a couple weddings use those so far. I love having them behind the sweetheart table. Because the sweetheart table is where a majority of the reception photos are going to be taken. So it's really nice to have that as a backdrop. We've done the light up, the neon signs on them as well. So you have the floral arrangements all around and the live flowers. And then you have, their hashtag, or in this case, we did a neon sign and it had their initials in a heart, which was really cool. So I liked that a lot, rather than doing floral arrangements on the sweetheart table, having it right behind. And then you can also use it, like Erin said, on the welcome table, and also as a place for photo booth later in the evening. If you have photo booths come in later in the evening, so that way you can use it during cocktail hour, and then the beginning of the reception, and then after the photo booth sets up, they can use that as their backdrop, which is really fun too.
Look at Brittany utilizing those funds in your budget in multiple areas. I love it. So yeah, guys, some great ideas about that. There was one other trend for flowers that I just absolutely adored. And it's basically like a greenery garland that comes down. If you have like a staircase, or if you're in like a rustic barn, or somewhere that just has that like wood or rustic feeling, adding like this beautiful greenery that comes down the staircase, or down pillars or something like that. And again, I'm a big fan of the green and white, so something like that is just super elegant and just adds that touch of just wow when people walk into the room.
Yeah, I love the greenery on the table. And then one of my other favorite trends, we didn't talk about this yet, but is using the succulents on the table. So having succulents placed on the table, and then it actually doubles as a favor for your guests later. They're able to actually take those home, unless you really just want 200 succulents at your house, which some people do. But they're a nice way to include a favor while decorating as well.
Perfect. So guys, we have lots and lots and lots of ideas for flowers. Brittany is a go-to for this. Kristen is also incredibly talented in that aspect as well. So having the three of us available to you as planners definitely helps, because again, we all have our own specialties and ideas. And a lot of times behind the scenes, guys, we bounce things off of each other. So, one of us will talk to a client, and then we'll talk, in a group and say, oh, what do you think about this idea? And we kind of bounce that off based on budget and this, that, or the other. So lots of ideas. If you guys have something flower-wise that you love, please share it with us. You can do it on the Facebook page, Instagram, tag us in a photo of your favorite, anything like that you want. But definitely check out our blog about the living event walls. I think you're absolutely going to love it. Again, the website to find our blog is, what is our website? swivelgroupevents.com/leftovercakechat.
Yes.
I've said it so many times, it normally just comes right out. We'll also post that blog this week, so that way you can see that. So a couple other things we want to talk about. I know Brittany's checking out a venue there, so she's outside. That's why you probably hear some of them in the back. But
it's really pretty.
Yeah. But the promotions, Brittany, you want to talk about the promotions, or do you want me to?
You got it. I'll chime in.
Yeah. So as we've talked about, we do have a teachers promotion, as well as a first responders promotion that's going on through the end of the month. If you book our full service planning, our personal wedding assistant planning services, you do get $1,000 off, as well as 10% off your any virtual planning services. So please, we want to help you, and we thank you for your service. We thank you for teaching our youth, and we really want to give back as much as possible. So if you have a friend, a relative, anything like that is a teacher or first responder, the bird is really happy in the background about the promotion that we're doing. definitely share our information with them. We would love to help them, love to be a part of their wedding and offer some services to them at a discounted price. And I think the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the Best Friends, which is our Love Mission of the Month. Again, if you guys have not read about that, check out our website and definitely get some more information about Best Friends. We have a blog about everything that they do. They're absolutely amazing. Their hashtag and their mission basically is Save Them All, which I absolutely love. But this week they announced that their spokesperson for the Strut Your Mutt event. And
I love that name.
I know, Strut Your Mutt. I love it. The spokesperson this year is best-selling author as well as animal advocate Catherine Schwarzenegger. So they're super excited about that. And just kind of follow along, guys. Get active. We really want to make sure that we are taking care of our fur babies and giving dogs forever homes. So please check out Best Friends. It is bestfriends.org. Again, you can get to them through our Facebook page, our Instagram page, or our website. So Brittany, anything else that you want to add for the week?
Just check out the Best Friends page. Now that we've been promoting them this past month, I've been following them on their Facebook and on their Instagram, and it's really awesome, some of the things they do. I know we shared a few weeks ago a couple that actually got married on their property, so that was really cool. So they always hold different kinds of events and just anything with dogs. I just love it. I just wish, I have 4 and I want more, but these organizations that we're supporting are definitely the ones that you should contact because they're just so great.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brittany, thank you for joining us today and filling everyone in on your amazing knowledge about flowers. And all of our clients, I know, appreciate you. So,
yay! Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let us get back to me later on that venue because I definitely want to know more about it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this Sunday on Leftover Cake Chat, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.